Okay, this is us at Viper Squadron Radio, and I'm sorry, it was Viper Squadron Podcast, and we are live. And I have with me tonight Will.
Hello, that's me.
There's Mr. Mark Hamill. Um, so, there's a couple things we wanted to start talking about. As you can see me look up because I'm looking at a monitor up here. So I don't know why I'm not seeing our thing pop up, but there we are. So there it is. All right. The few things we wanted to talk about tonight is some of the um, I had a couple corrections I wanted to talk about last tonight that I said last time. One, I think um, Nathan was talking about some upgrade cards and was wondering if they were going to be in second edition, and I thought he was talking about auto thrusters, but he wasn't. He was talking about. Oh, I'm sorry, I dropped my papers here. What is it? Think you can help me out there, Will?
Um, Maybe the Afterburners.
Not Afterburners, but there's another one that he was talking about.
I'm trying to think. Was it a what kind of
It was a mod, but I mean, it was the one where turns the focuses to hits or to evades.
focuses to evades?
Was it auto thrusters?
Auto thrusters turns a blank to an evade.
Okay, well, I was talking about. He was asking about that, and I thought that's what he was. I thought he was talking about afterburners. So, the auto thrusters is not on the list of upgrade cards. So, and then I know I was talking about Boba Fett and his pilot ability. I got that confused with the crew as a crew ability because Boba Fett's pilot ability is a little different. He it says while you defend or perform an attack, you can re-roll one of your dice for each enemy at 0 to 1. And I was talking about it being able to place like within 0 of an obstacle. But that's his if you have Boba Fett for crew. So, is there anything you want to clarify we talked about last time?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I was mainly just asking questions last time, honestly.
That's all right. Um, but then the other stuff we wanted to talk about was the hold on. I don't know. Did you see that? You just saw what I see, right? On the Hangouts.
No.
I was flashed something in my screen. So, yeah, is that the TIE Advanced X1 expansion pack? Just some of the things like Vader and his abilities is just outrageous now.
Yeah, they amped him up to 11 for sure.
Yeah. If we could go that high on a pilot initiative, that'd be awesome. But they have it's that focus action that or the focus action that is what I'm not the force action is what gives them that extra kick because they have built in the advanced targeting computer, which of course in 1.0 if you're going to build Vader you got to have that on it. So I mean they changed it a little bit, but it's still pretty good. Because instead of saying, well, it says a roll an additional dice, but and change change a hit result to a critical result, so it doesn't give you that automatic critical hit, but it does still give you that extra roll. So, and that's a pretty good one. And then also on top of it, you can perform an action. After he performs an action, he uses a force token to perform another one. He's gonna knock out that folk. Let's see, what do we have on Vader? We have a focus, target lock, and then we have the focus, target lock. You have the focus to a barrel roll. So we can. He's just gonna be all over the place. He's gonna be one of those guys that's gonna be hard to catch or hard to keep in your arc, since he is pilot initiative 6, so he's gonna be one of those last ones to move. It is just gonna be crazy. What do you think?
Well, one of his new upgrades is this force power.
Oh yes, that is definitely one that's a game changer too.
Yeah. The 70 points out of your 200 points is probably gonna deter some people from putting him in lists. I could definitely see myself being a little bit afraid to use 40 points on a non-upgraded 2332. But he's still, I mean, 4 possible actions in a turn with 3 force tokens. That's the most force on a pilot in the game right now, right? That we know of.
Let me see. And his point cost is 70. I think Kanan. Where is Kanan?
Kanan is a.
Where is he at? Oh no, Kanan. He only gets 2 also. So yeah, I mean, with Luke gets 2, Ezra has 1, and then he has 1 there. Yeah, Ezra on 3 different ships. Yes, those damn rebels. And then of course the Empire. We only got the Inquisitors, and Vader. That's got force powers. Sorry, I'm having my Jack and Coke. That's my night drink. So yeah, so those force powers with those, other upgrades that came out can just be crazy. Where is that? But did you get did you see the list of the upgrade cards that came out that are like, I really, when they were saying that there's going to be faction specific upgrade cards, there are now, but I know they said that you don't have to buy this one just to get this card that you can use on a different faction anymore. But my question is, you have all these generic upgrades. Is that going to come with all of them?
From what I'm understanding, if a ship can use the upgrade in any way, then it is going to have that upgrade, which I think is going to be ridiculous later down the road with stuff like the 2400 or a decimator or an IG, these things that have just huge upgrade bars that just have so many possible upgrades. That pack is going to be jam-packed with just nothing but upgrades at that point.
I agree, because like you said, the IGs, that it gets 2 cannon slots, a bomb slot, then of course illicit and system, and what is elite pilot, and a title is all possible on all of them. So yeah, that's just Yeah, some of the upgrades on these things are just crazy how they have them distributed, but it's going to be interesting on how it works out.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to go back on that. Oh yeah, any ship gets any upgrade that it can in its pack because there's just no way some of these ships can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because I mean, you got other stuff like the bombers that got all like the TIE bomber. I mean, it's coming with, you know, 2 missiles and 2 bombs and a gunner, and I mean, it's some of those. I think I saw somebody at you know, was doing one of the unboxings, and like the stack of cards is like this. It's like a little. It's more than a deck of regular playing cards, you know. So it's gonna be a lot. I mean, you're gonna fill up some binders really quick.
Oh yeah.
I already got mine started when I got my um, Reaper and my U wings. So
Those are 2.0 now. I forget they made them both.
right, they had the upgrades. I mean the 2.0 and the 1.0 in the boxes.
Yeah, I put my 2.0 version off in a completely separate box so I don't get it confused and start trying to use it in 1.0 while it's still around.
Yeah, I get that. Let's see how we doing up here. Okay. Um, but some of the other stuff, like I mean, is there anything else on the upgrade cost that came out that kind of struck you funny?
Yeah, for sure. On the galactic side, because I was really looking at the Empire.
Hmm.
Vader is 14 points as a crew, and Palpatine's only 13. He still takes up more slots, but
He's less points, yeah.
yeah.
I know. I noticed that one too. Uh, I was pretty surprised that Vader costed more than a Palp.
Well, obviously with that point cost, he's going to be doing something way different than he is.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the the Vader crew card, but
I'm I'm kind of scared to see what it might be.
yeah, it could make some stuff nasty. But the other thing I noticed, you know, I figured Vader was going to be on the high side of point costs, and with him only at 70, and then you got some people like Colonel Vessery and Rack, Rear Admiral Cherno. You know, they both are at 88 points to
All
start
right,
off with.
that's a lot of points.
Yeah, it is. But I will tell you that I did figure it out, and I still can make up a squad with Countess. The one list that I was running lately is the 2 Reapers and Countess, and I can almost fit the exact same list on there. So
Well, hey.
it still works out for me. But I just have to adjust myself to those medium-sized bases.
Oh yeah. The Reapers are going to be mediums, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Which um, I'm up here right now, up in Cary, North Carolina, and I came up here because I went to the store championships at Gamers Armory, and there was more Reapers than I thought there was going to be. There was like at least 3 people running Reapers that I saw, including myself. So um, I didn't really expect to see that, but I mean there were some good lists out there, and I believe the guy who won he had a Reaper too.
Well,
So the guy who won, I don't know. Do you ever listen to the Carolina Crates?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you might want to. One of the guys that's on there, Chris Allen, he's the one that won. So, and Chris Allen, if you see this ever, congratulations. You know, I did not fare so well. I did some stupid maneuvers, and it cost me some of the games. One, I lost by 4 points.
Ugh,
It
that's
was,
always tough.
oh man, that one just about killed me. But it was fun. I had a good time. It was hot as hell in there. So they had fans going, AC going, but when you had all those guys standing like shoulder to shoulder, and it got hot in there pretty quick.
I can only imagine.
Man, you know, and for me, it's hard to, like, the tables we have at our store at Hobbytown are like perfect height for me, you know, because I can't be on my feet all the time. So I always sit on that little stool, and it makes it easier for me to get up and down and stuff. But here we're like sitting at a normal sized table, you know, like those fold out tables, like Hobbytown has in the middle of the game area.
Right.
And they just had, you know, some tables set up on top of them that fit the mats. And it was killing me by the end of the day. So, but it was a good, interesting experience. So there were some good guys there too. We had some good talks with some of them, and some of them are really good. So, and then we have our store championships coming up, on the 18th?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know who we'll see out there. Of course, you know, Austin shows up, he's going to have that dash.
Speaking
of dash, yeah, let's see. Pilot cost for Mr. Dash Rendar. Oh, look, half of your allowable points at 100.
Unupgraded.
Yeah, that's a naked dash. But with some of those upgrades and stuff, I mean, you could easily get him up with a lot of points. I mean, that would eat up a lot. I mean, if you're gonna take him and run some of these lower costed ships, take him and a headhunter, you know, put a Z95 out there with him. That's about all you're gonna be able to fit in if you put too many upgrades on him.
I'm just looking at him right now, and I just made a 178 point dash, and I only put on 3 upgrades.
Yeah, so 178.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't even put a Z95 on there because the lowest one's a 23.
Yeah, so I think dash players are gonna need to be careful.
Yeah, you couldn't even fit any of them in there. Even the Sabine's tie is only 26. Whew. Yeah, see, what did you put on it?
I put his title.
Oh yeah, there's 14 right there.
And then I put on the Luke Gunner. That's a new upgrade slot too.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good one right there. That's 30 points.
Yeah, that's 144, 2 upgrades. And then yeah,
we'll see. I mean, dash could be the whole list.
Yeah.
So
we'll
see.
His I believe it's 4 attack dice at ranges 2 and 3 at all times, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me see. Hold on just a second. Let me get my list up. Let's see. Where is Mr. Dash? Oh, you know, I don't have Dash listed in my thing, but I think I might have in my email. But we'll see here. But yeah, I mean, he does, of course, some crazy stuff like Dash usually does.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. You know, Mr. Austin loves having all those shenanigans. Just like like Chris. Oh, Did I freeze up a little bit? Oh, there he is. Of course, he has that absolutely ridiculous pilot ability. It says while you move, you ignore obstacles.
Totally fair.
Yeah, just ridiculous. um, but he has a while you perform a primary attack at range 0 to 1, do not apply the range 0 to 1 bonus and roll 1 fewer attack die.
So basically, a heavy laser cannon at all times.
Yeah, some kind of cannon or something on him. Yeah, the gunner shooting at him. Oh, but I mean, his primary though. I mean, he's got the turret, the 180 kind of thing. The front and back mobile turret with 4 attack dice. He comes with a focus, a target lock. The move the
Move
arc.
your turret.
Yeah, and then he's at least got a red barrel roll. So at least there's a way to stress him up. Slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hurt him too bad.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But still, I mean, that's one of those ones that he's going to be a lot of points, so it's going to be hard to see if they're going to actually. We're going to see him much,
right?
Then I mean, if you go back to the just to the Falcon, on the Rebel side, Han and Lando are both at 92 points. And they have more upgrade slots than Dash does.
Yeah, so even more opportunities for a ton of points on those ships.
Right, yeah. But for people who like to run multiple ships, you got somebody that likes to run the T-65s. 41 points is the lowest one. So yeah, you can get some in there. You got four X-wings out there, and then you put some upgrades on them. Even though they're the Cavern Angels, or if you want to have a lose the or if you're not going to be using the illicit slot, then you can go to the Blue Squadron Escort, same price, but depends on which one you want to have out there. Maybe you have the Alt Art card or something and you want to play that. But one thing though, no, that's Mr. Darren. On the Empire side, for somebody like our local Tie Swarm guy, Ty Bob, he's going to be able to get a bunch on there. So the lowest cost TIE fighter, 23 points.
Right, but Howl Runner is 40 now.
Yeah, that is true. So, I mean, almost twice as much as an Academy pilot.
Right.
But depending on how they want to work it, I mean, you can still get a good amount of TIE fighters. You put a Howl Runner, I've seen them out there with Wampa, and then you throw in a couple of academies on that. You could still get some good amount of ships on the board.
I did some math when I was first shown this point list, and you can get all of the 30-point ships, that being Wampa, Del Meeko, Gideon Hask, and Sane Marana. And you can get Valen Rudor and Night Beast, and then I think you still have just enough points for an Academy pilot after you've put all of them on there. So if you don't use Howlrunner, you can fit a ton of named pilots.
Yeah. So, and you get those with some of the upgrade cards on it. I mean, all those pilot abilities for those TIE fighters. Some of them are interesting. So that right there could be a good list. Is that going to take up the whole 200? Or are they going to be when you fill that out? Was that naked?
I'm redoing the math here. Then plus 26. So, with all of the named pilots, that's 174 points, and then you add on one Academy pilot, and you are at 197. So actually, you could add on Scourge or Mauler Mythal instead of the Academy pilot, and still have 1 point left over if you could find something to do with 1 point that you cared about.
You said Mauler Mythal. So yeah, but if you take all those named ones and then throw an Academy on there, and how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 have an EPT slot. Throw Ruthless on all of them. That'll
Oh, for
fit.
sure.
And then what else? You got the mods, but depending on whatever modifications you can do too, which aren't really that cheap.
Yeah, mods are getting more expensive with the point costs as well.
Right. And one thing I saw that was different, there's some that have a variable point cost. So like engine upgrade and hull upgrade, shield upgrade and stealth device, and expert handling. All of those upgrades have variable point costs.
Do we know what varies them?
Yes. Engine upgrade and expert handling goes by the size of the ship, base. So the small base ones, you get 1 point. Is let's see, for engine upgrade, it's 3 for the small, and then 6 for the medium, and 9 for the large. Expert handling has 2 for the small, 4 for the medium, and 6 for the large. But then you have the other ones that the hull upgrade, shield upgrade, and stealth device. They go by your agility value. So if you have a 0 agility, it's either a 2, a 3, or a 3 points. Then 1, it's 3, 4, and 4. And let's see, what do those TIE fighters have on them?
TIE fighters have 3 agility.
TIE fighters, yeah, 3 agility. So they'll be, I mean, you couldn't even put many of those on there because it'd be, for a hull upgrade, is 7. So you can put it on a couple.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, not any more than 3 though. So, but yeah, so it's going to make it interesting. I know I've already started playing with some of the points. I know Hobbytown, they had a picture they posted that there was a couple people there, Barclay and Rob, were doing a little play test with some of the 2.0 stuff since they got the new costs. So they were playing around with that. And I know some of the other guys at this tournament I was at today were all talking about they were doing the same thing last night. So that's the first thing I was doing yesterday morning when I saw the announcement of these things. Just started writing lists, trying to get up some good lists and seeing what's possible with them. So, is there anything else you want to talk about on the points list?
Does Predator do the same thing that it does now?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think I've seen Predator yet.
because it's 1 point less.
What now?
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah,
If
let
it
me see.
does the same thing, then that's a pretty decent upgrade since it's 2 points. You could throw that on every single ship, and then there's your Howl Runner.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to look through the list of stuff I have. Because I sent all the pictures I have for the upgrades and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have Predator on there, so I don't know what that's going to be. But that'll be interesting to find out too, because Predator in 1.0 is really good. So you see it all the time. That and some of these other ones. What was that? Of course, you got that truck crack shot.
Yeah.
I had an opponent today that had crack shot. Forgot almost the whole game about it, and then at the end he's like, "What the hell?" Right after he kept throwing dice at Countess, and she just with the TIEX-7, she just was using those tokens to evade everything. So, and he's like, "What am I doing? I could have just gotten rid of one of those." And I'm like, "Well," I said, "I forgot you had the card too," but it wasn't sitting in front of me. So, well, there's the same thing. Like the first game I was playing, I had Palpatine on one of my Reapers, and I forgot the first couple rounds, first couple engagements about him. So I was like, I could have um, had a little more luck.
For sure. I do that all the time
Yeah.
with Palpatine and Guri, even with her special ability. I think in the game with you during the league matches, I wrote it on my hands.
Oh yeah, you did. You had all the notes on to your hand to remind you. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, you got to do whatever you can to remember. And that's like with the adaptive ailerons. I have a token that I put on top of my dial, so it makes me reminds myself that I have to use that. So that, yeah. So sometimes, missing those cues, missing the for fact that you have a pilot ability that does something, you know, can depend on how many times you forget, can either make or break you. And make you if the other guy was the one forgetting it.
Right. It's the odd timing that always makes me forget. It's not right after you land, so you have to wait for all of the ships to move, and that's normally when I forget
Oh,
during that time. So I started, writing it on my hand first, but then um, that stopped working. So as soon as I would get her into a position that I knew was, nobody was going to be getting out of range one of her, I would
hmm
just hold the token in my hand and just wait.
like I said, sometimes it's all going to be whatever you can to remember.
And speaking of Guri, she is now the most expensive Star Viper class attack platform um, of them all by quite a large margin, 8 points.
Yeah, I guess. I guess I didn't even see those ones yet. Yeah, that's a big point difference. I mean, most of the other ones are, 2 or 4 at the most. I see. There's 3, 2. Yeah, but 8 points, that's a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's sitting at a solid 62 points.
wow. Just think, you want to spend 10 more points and you can get Moralo. That's the guy who can, leave the battlefield and come back. So, yeah.
Fair.
I guess if it's worth the 10 points if you can just take that sucker off the board and then come back in somewhere else on that side. Yeah. So, are you planning on going anywhere else this season about any other store championships, or are you planning on just stay local and play with in our store?
Well, I guess it depends on how well I do in this one first. Um, I'm not expecting to, but if I somehow magically pull out the win, then regionals would definitely be in my future. Um, I'm still in college, so when school starts back up, I have no idea what my schedule is going to look like. So
Yeah.
I can't really say.
When does school start back up?
That's an excellent question, and I should probably look into
Probably
that.
already know that. Yeah, because I mean, it's just the store championship goes through like the end of August, so there might be a couple weeks there at the end, depending on when you start.
I'm wanting to say late August. The 18th is a Saturday,
Hmm.
and so I think the following Wednesday classes start.
Okay.
So it's just, far enough away to where I can make it.
Yeah, and I know there's a couple other stores that are having like next weekend or the following weekend, and yeah, debating on whether or not if I'm going to go or if I get permission uh, yeah, to go. Um, I got to work this one too because this one today, and then we're up here for the Rally SuperCon, so we'll be going that all day tomorrow. So it allowed me to come up here on the day. I'm like, hey, we can get a hotel. So, um, so what kind of ships do you think at our store championships? What do you think you're going to be seeing over there?
Um, you know, it's hard to say. I definitely expect some Reapers. Um, yeah. I can't say I'm really expecting much more than what I've been seeing, which is um, a lot of, um, I guess you could call them more casual lists. I haven't seen like Miranda Nim or,
Yeah,
Ghost Fin.
we don't see a lot of the the big meta lists come in. We got these guys all like to just make up their own and see what works for them,
Right.
which is
Uh,
sometimes a good thing and sometimes a bad thing.
yeah. I know when I flew against Andrew the first and second time, he flew two defenders and an alpha class, and I thought it was so strange that he didn't just fly the third defender, but
Right.
then it was impossible to kill anything because the defenders were just, token stacking, and then the alpha class would just tearing me up because I was like, okay, I gotta kill a defender. I gotta kill a defender, and I just had completely forgotten that alpha classes were still very much scary ships.
Yeah, because you can put some of those upgrades on them that can do some serious damage. I know I have a list where I have um, two new squadron pilots and Vader, and that's a pretty nasty list too. But yeah, I mean defenders. Andrew's always a good one for defenders. I love flying defenders also. They're fun. I like counts as the best because all those straight maneuvers I can turn into a K turn if I needed to.
Yeah.
So, oh,
Green
and they're green. So
Fair.
it makes it easier. I mean, who would use the 4K white K turn on Countess?
Yeah, that may as well just not exist for her. Just use the green one.
Right. Yeah, just put that the green one on there and the green straight, and then just flip around. So it's fun. So I'm just trying to do some stuff around here. But yeah, I mean, I'm expecting for, of course, we get some people who are going to fly, Darren will come in with some scum list. Sometimes it's hard to tell what he's going to bring in. He likes to move around a little bit. Once he found the scum, I mean, he used to fly Rebels and he used to fly the K-Wings. He loved those until that nerf that came out. And then he was just like, could try something else. And he decided to move over to scum, and he's loving it. Kind of embracing the Mandalorian stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but then you got someone like Austin or Chris who are going to come with Rebels. Most of the time, sometimes Austin, switches it up, but I believe I'm sure he'll probably come with some dash list just to make us mad. But then you got somebody like Ty Bob, if he shows up, of course, it's the reason why it's Ty Bob. He runs those TIE fighters. But it's more like any tie he likes.
Yeah, anything Imperial almost, it seems.
Right. Yeah. He was running another list with a Reaper in it, and when it first hit the shelves, and he smacked me around a little bit. I mean, you got some people that have different levels of experience on playing. They got how many people have been playing since it started. I mean, like, didn't you say that you were playing early when it first started and then stopped?
Yeah, I'd like to think I was probably one of the first to pick up the game, relatively speaking, especially in our little group. But yeah, that 2-year hiatus was
Game changed
coming
a lot.
back.
Huh?
Yeah, coming back. I mean, when I left, I had just finished buying an Aggressor, a Skick, and a Star Viper, and this was before the Guns for Hire, so they didn't have um, the the upgrades for the Star Viper, the second title,
Right.
And this was also before I knew that you couldn't re-roll something that you've already re-rolled. So I was sitting there running Fire Control System, Predator, and the B Aggressor, the one that lets you attack again when you miss. And I just didn't miss shots because I got to just roll everything over and over and over again. Oh, I missed that entire attack. Well, let me just do it again, But I had already spent all of your tokens doing that because, I got to reroll like a billion times and you had to spend your tokens to fix your defense dice. And then if it missed, okay, well, I get to reroll again because I didn't even spend any tokens this time and you spent all of yours. So I didn't really lose with that list, but I only played it a few times. And then when I came back, there was so much new stuff that uh, when you would like play an aggressor, you didn't see it without its brobot. But when I started, nobody had the robot's tactic down, and so it was odd to see it with another one of itself and that be the only way to fly it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've just noticed that even from the like 2 years since I've been playing, um, it's changed a lot. I mean, those FAQ comes out and there's a bunch of changes. People complain because they think this mechanic's broken, and then they go in and make a change, and then now people are outraged because of some of the different changes. So, it's kind of hard to please the public all the time, but yeah, I mean, just the time I've been playing, just the difference on um, the ships, the upgrades, and all that stuff came out. I mean, like something like a missile, like harpoon missiles. When that came out, it changed everybody. You started seeing it. It shows up in the in the meta lists and stuff, and then even at our store, that all people started throwing harpoons out there. I mean, I even did it a little bit. Had to try them out, but
Right.
and that just changed the whole complexity of the game. You know, you get some people who just love those, you know, just the dogfights, just basic arc firing, and um, then you got people that can shoot these missiles that are just gonna, oh, now here's this, and then maybe next turn, you're gonna get another damage.
For free.
Yeah, for free, and you're gonna, hey, get that guy right next to you too. Get that splash damage of somebody. It
Yeah.
makes a difference. I mean, it changes people from flying stuff too close together. I mean, just having the card was a benefit because it got people to break up their squads.
Right.
So simple little cards like that, one card changed everybody's way of playing.
I know when the Defenders came out, I don't remember what came first, the Defender or the Phantom. But when the Defenders came out, um, me and our co-host Nathan, we were the only ones that would play against each other. Um, and so I flew a Defender against him and let him fly my Phantom because he was just so intrigued by 4 attack dice. It was unheard of.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'm pretty tanky. I got these free K turns. This is gonna be good. uh, I would K turn too early, and it would be 5 dice, right in my butt.
Oh yeah.
But now he could throw all the dice that he wants at me. Oh well, look at me. I'm throwing 5 dice. Well, congratulations. I have an evade, a focus, a target lock, and 3 barrel rolls left to do before my turn's over. So go ahead and try it.
Right.
But I was talking to Darren, and he said when Defenders came out, they broke the game, and I had to disagree. I was like, no, when they came out, they weren't what they are now. The Imperial Veterans pack is what made them so strong, because before, they were all right, not great ships, but they're definitely not worth the point cost that they were given. Not when they first came out, at least. That's why nobody flew them, because it's just so expensive. And I mean, it's a good ship, but at that point in time, it just was not worth a third of your team.
Right. Yeah. And then when that Imperial Veterans came out, and then you had, that's when Countess shows up.
Right.
Makes a big difference for that. I mean, like I said, some of those upgrade cards are just simple cards that can change everything, and it made those defenders a lot better because at first when I first started playing, I looked at the defenders and I was like, eh. But then that Imperial Vets came out, and I grabbed that up, and then it was on from there. So.
Oh yeah, the 2 possible titles was just so game changing. Oh, you want to go full on, offensive attack mode and just let your ship be a ton of points? Go ahead. Here's the XD or something.
Or the X7.
Yeah, the X7, and then okay, well you want to be, more on the token defensive kind of side of things. Well, here's the other one.
Yeah,
you get your pick.
When I would fly my, I used to fly 2 defenders and Upsilon shuttle, and that was a pretty good list. I had them with both of the ties. It was a Countess and the Deltan Squadron pilot, and put the TIE D on them and put ion cannon on them, and that was fun because you get to shoot at them twice. So I got that. I'd shoot the ion cannon. As long as you shoot the ion cannon first, you get that primary attack afterwards. And it makes a big difference because, I got 2 ships that are shooting at you with 3 dice twice.
Right.
And then of course I got the Upsilon in there with that bus with the 4 attack dice. But yeah, so I mean, some things with those different upgrades coming out in the expansions, I could see after the 2 years you were gone how much difference it would have been.
Oh, for sure. It was I actually just today finished off buying the last of the Scum ships. And I never thought I would put so much time and money into this game.
Right.
I've easily put a few $100, maybe even up in the thousands, to play these 2 factions, the Scum and Imperials. And when it was first coming out, I was buying them as they were coming out, and I was purposely not buying Rebels. But looking back, I really wish I had stuck to all 3 factions so I could just have them already, and now I have to go back and get the Rebels. But I think with 2.0 coming out, there's no point in me going back and getting the Rebels to then get the conversion kit if I can just get the Rebels as they come out in the new expansions, which I think was what FFG was trying to do in the first place. People that maybe left the game, or even newcomers that are just coming into the game, you don't have to be so behind. You can get these ships as they come out in the waves, and I think that that was a good marketing decision on their part, at least.
Which I completely agree. And like you said, that I like how they are coming out with the whole, the different factions. So, like you said, you got all the Scum. Well, now you get the conversion kit, and you got all those ships you can play. I was one of those guys who just wanted to make sure I have one of each ship, at least one of each ship. And I think there's only 5, maybe, that I don't have. So, but a couple of them are ones I'm just not going to get now because I'm just going to wait till the other ones come out in 2.0. But I mean, they're not those game changer ships and stuff. But I mean, I got all the really, really good ones, like the TIE Punisher. I don't have that one, so, and I think I could wait for that one. But I do think that they made it pretty good for people that had left and then now coming back like you, and you can get that conversion kit and you can use all those ships you already had.
Right.
I mean, shoot, there's more cards in there that I'm gonna have ships for. I mean, you can run 3 decimators off the ships. I mean, the cards that come in the all the cardboard and stuff for the ship bases, you can run 3 of them.
But only 2 Phantoms.
Yeah. And that was one of the other things, is their decisions on how much to put in the conversion kits. Some of that just kind of made some people scratch their head.
Yeah.
Nobody's really ever asked why did you come up with this? Why don't you just like put 4 of everything in there, um and I mean, there's like I said, there's some of them that you don't even get. I don't have the list in front of me, but like how many TIE fighters you get? You got those people got 8 TIE fighters.
Me.
You plan on running 6 of them, but do you get enough for 6 of them?
No, not even close.
But now you got to get the core set, which of course you're gonna get it for all the other stuff. All the cardboard, all the tokens and all that stuff. Unless you go and get all your aftermarket, um, third party ones like your acrylics. You're gonna need to get that. So you get those ships you get that pilot skill, pilot cards and stuff with those. Then they got the expansion pack right off the bat. That so you got some of those that you're going to be able to get for that, but still you're not going to, some people are still not going to, are going to have ships that they don't have cards for, or they got more cards than they need.
Right. I know the 3 Defenders, for example, it's a really popular list right now, but the conversion's only giving you 2. And I know you can only fly 2 together, but it'd be nice to have that 3rd one.
Right. Have enough stuff just because, sometimes I like to have them all on display and have their little ship cards on them and stuff. And, I like to have everybody up there if I could. So, you're not going to have it all, but I mean, we'll see. We'll have to see when we get it. And, so, because I know some people are like, well, I have more of this, so I'm going to have to buy 2, but those people that are complaining about stuff like that, it's like, you just wait a week and there's going to be people who are going to be like on eBay and stuff selling cards that they don't need.
Right. Or even at the store,
Yeah, we can trade around and stuff, or hey, here's some that I got for this and you get for this.
And I know because I was like I said, I was basically a solo player with Nathan. I know what it's like to not have people to trade around with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, well, back then it wasn't really that big of a deal. They didn't have game-breaking upgrades or ships that you were like, yes, I need one of these, or I can't play this game. But still, if you wanted something, I mean, I would have to go buy an entire ship for it. But now, I mean, this game is not meant to be played by yourself. So you can't really complain that you don't have people to trade with and stuff if you're playing this game the way it's meant to be played. It's supposed to be a bunch of people, a group of friends playing together. And so it might be harsh to say, but I can't really sympathize anymore with people that don't branch out and find people that are willing to help them out with the expenses part of the whole game.
Right. I mean, I agree. I mean, before I even got in the game, did I even think there was things like Facebook pages or anything like that? Where you can connect with other people in different areas, or even, hey, find out that there's another store in your area that that hosts games, and you can go over there and play with them. Me finding Hobby Town, I mean, that was just by chance. I had a buddy when I got into it. A buddy of mine, he's like, "Hey, you ever thought about playing this game? And I'm like, I've seen it on the shelves at like Barnes and Noble and whatnot. I said, I think they're pretty cool, but you know, I found out you had to have two people to play, and I didn't know anybody that played it. And he goes, well, I want to try it out, so let's get the core sets. So that's where it started, and then went. He was going with somebody over to the store, and then that's when he found out that they did X-Wing there, and he talked to a couple of the guys there, and he told me, and so then of course, then I hopped out there and started talking to them and started getting in with their leagues and all that stuff. I mean, you have to be able to be willing to go out there and look for them.
Right. You can't play this game alone. And even with one other person, I mean, it's the reason me and Nathan quit in the first place, because all we had was each other, and it just gets, it gets old playing the same person over and over. You can't, you learn each other's tactics, and eventually it's just, okay, who made the better team, not who's the better flyer.
Right. I mean, I completely get that, and that's why I do like myself going out and playing other places like I did today. You see different things. I mean, there's ships the lists that I saw today that I didn't think I would see. But and it is a lot better to be able to go out there and play. And like I said, we started playing just him and I, and we played a couple times, and okay, it got for a while that it was there was for a few months we were playing every week, and then it just got where it's like, man, we need to find something else. Wish somebody else was playing this. So I'm glad that he found our store. But yeah, so I mean, like I do believe that once that comes out, that everybody at our store is going to be putting up, hey, I don't have these ships and I don't want the cards. Anyone's got these, so I can swap them out with you. So, but we'll have to see. Is there anything else any other topics you want to bring up?
I just want to reiterate, Darth Vader gets 4 actions every turn. Can we just
He could get 4 actions.
Could get 4. Well, still, I mean, but no, that sounds like I've talked enough tonight.
You talked enough. Yeah. The only other things that I want to say, I mean, we got a good bunch of people that we play with, and I enjoy playing with them all the time. And the support we get by the owners there at Hobbytown, the Steiners, are just great, and I always appreciate their willingness to like open the store early for us or keep the store open late, and even though they do other games and stuff that they do late, but it's great to have that kind of a store that is willing to work with us so we can play a game we love, and getting the price support and stuff. Kayla over there is the best at making sure we have the product on the shelves and stuff. And she's been working to try to get numbers on people that wanted to pre-order the stuff this year. I mean, for the second edition. So, and of course, mine's already pre-ordered and some of it's already paid off. So, and then just all the guys on our group, you're a great bunch of guys, and I enjoy playing with you guys every week or every few weeks or a couple times a week. And there's always somebody that's almost always somebody willing to play a game if you want to play, and that's what's great about our group. So, and then just a thank you to the Gamers Armory today, here in Cary, that hosted their store championships, and great bunch of people there. They very welcoming and stuff. And then you got all the guys that played, and Chris Allen winning the tournament, and he had his box that he's walking around with. It says crates on top. If you listen to them, they say that all the time. And today he showed it. He was on top, and that was great. There's a couple people of the crates that were there, and they're good guys. So I mean, I like talking to them. Um, some of them felt some sympathy for me, some of the stupid things I did today, but it was good. But that's about it for me. So we'll do this again here soon, and thank you, Will, for coming in. And
Thanks for having me.
hey, no problem. Maybe next time I'll remind them a little bit better. I was so busy today, that and doing some shopping around town after the tournament that I was hoping to get other people in here, but I didn't have a chance to message you guys, make sure everyone is going to be ready. But we'll do better for next time. So, and all right, yeah, that's about it. So, this is us, episode 2 in the can. So, good night, and this Viper Squadron podcast, and we are out.
Peace.